Hi, good evening, everyone. I've got the sexy silver curtains out again, so this can only mean that I'm talking to a bunch of strange eBay people over the internet. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know, my name's Jason, and I sell on eBay for a living. And I like to talk about the ins and outs of running an eBay business and why we do what we do, and hopefully give you guys some help and support along the way. This video is going to be about customer service and why it's much more important to your business than what you might think. So listen up, and hopefully everyone will be able to pick up some decent advice from what I'm going to say. So customer service. We all kind of think we know what customer service is, but you may be sat there thinking, wait a minute, I sell secondhand items on the internet to random people who I never see, never interact with. How does customer service affect me and what I do? So I think that by changing your mindset as an eBay seller and make you realize the importance of giving good customer service, realizing what customer service is in regards to selling on eBay and then improving it, I think it's only going to help you improve your sales. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, we need to identify what good customer service is when it comes to selling online. So we are small sellers, myself included. We can't compete with all the big boys. So at the end of the day, we're there to put our items up on eBay, which is a huge global marketplace, to get as many people as possible to have a look at our items. Now, whether they decide to buy our item or not, I think is mainly governed by three factors. Price, obviously, generally people are motivated by price. Secondly, you've got what your listing looks like, how well it's described, and how engaging it is. So I think good customer service is when you deliver an accurate, honest portrayal of the item that you're trying to sell, how you treat the customer throughout all your transactions, and how you deal with any returns, refunds, just the whole customer experience from start to finish. And I think that without your customers, you've got no business, obviously. So you need to realize that by looking after the people who buy from you and making their experience as positive as possible compared to the other people on eBay who aren't really sort of taking that into account, it's going to give you guys a little bit of what's the word, like a kicker above everyone else. Give yourselves like a little bit of a boost over people that aren't sort of taking these things into consideration. So why do we do this? It's because I think if customers are happy with what they buy from you, they're more likely to come back. I don't think there is the sort of customer loyalty that you get in a retail store when you're just like a sort of faceless eBay seller, because it makes it hard for the average person to realize that they're buying from like a particular individual, and it's hard to put yourself across. But I do think there can be an aspect of customer loyalty that you can try and enhance through good customer service that will encourage them to come back to you, come back to your store, check out you first if they're looking for something in particular rather than going to other people. So there is that. Now, I think even that can override price if they have received really good customer service in the past and you've gone out of your way to deliver something to them that they weren't expecting. I don't mean like they've ordered a skirt and you've sent them a sexual help guide or something like that. But what I mean is that if they've just been expecting like a sort of standard a transactional thing where they buy something, you send them something, and that's it. But if you kind of personalize it a little bit and you go above and beyond, exceeding their expectations, there's always a chance that they might come back. They might spend more money in your eBay store. They might tell their friends. They might send a link to your eBay store. They might open up other opportunities for you as well, just with that one customer. I'm going to talk about that. So why do we do this? So we're small sellers and we haven't really got the power of marketing that the big boys selling on eBay do, because we're competing with, presumably a lot of you that are watching my channel selling media, selling games, selling DVDs, selling CDs, selling consoles, selling iPhones, selling tablets, selling electronics, and it would appear to us all that, the big competitors, the music magpies, the We Buy Books, the massive media sellers are just pricing us all out of the market, undercutting us guys with everything, and that there's no opportunity there to sell things. Well, I can surprise you here because I quite often buy things from the likes of Music Magpie on eBay and resell them myself online for more money, significantly more than what I've sold them on eBay. And the difference is the customer service that I give. Now, how do we do this? So it's what I talked about earlier on about giving the customer a great experience from start to finish. So how are you going to put your listings above these big boys that spend all this money? They've got massively lower profit margins and they just completely sell on volume. So how do we put ourselves across from that? So I think perfect way here, we can break this down into steps, because you've got to look at your customer journey. Your customer is your ideal person on eBay, your avatar. They're the people buying from you. So they're looking for something. So how do you give them a great service? So what we want, first thing that they see is the photograph. Okay, so they see the photograph, they see the price, they see the title. So there's three things there, all in conjunction with one another. So your initial photo, I mean, all your photos need to be great, obviously, but that first photo needs to tell them everything they need to know about the item that they're buying. It separates it from all the other sellers that may be selling something similar. That it gives you guys an edge. You know, highlight the extra bits it comes with. Show off as much of the products you can in your first initial photo. Minimize any space in the background. Try and fill that frame with as much of your products as possible. Don't have a generic photograph. Don't use stock photographs. Always show your items. I get why the big boys do it, because they're just, it doesn't matter to them. It's just a DVD that they're probably making 3 pence on. So they can just have a stock photo and they just list. But I think that if someone can actually click through the photograph, see that the item is in your hands, but not physically in your hands. Don't show your hands in the photos. That's never a good idea. But if they can actually see the item in hand, and your photos are clear enough, they can inspect it themselves for any damage, any marks, any issues with it. I think that goes a long way of inspiring customer confidence in what you're selling. And if they then click through your listing onto your shop or your eBay listings, and they can see consistently that you list your items in the same way, all your photographs are clear, they're on a nice, well-lit background, no flash on, that you've got, your title is, it's not concise, what's the word? It's efficient. The title needs to be efficient. You've got 80 letters, you need to use as many of them as possible, because there's a reason for it. Because if you load them with keywords that are specific to that item that you're selling, you will bring in more people who weren't even necessarily looking for quite that thing. I'm not saying for a minute you should use words that don't apply to what you're selling, but you can definitely use those extra words to, seek out other sort of buyers and sort of pull people in, with words that apply to your listing that you might not have considered using. So always, and a great way of doing this is look for your item, have a look at other people that are doing it. If you see a title with words on there, you think, oh, that's great. I hadn't thought of using that. That's fantastic. Obviously everyone uses the words rare, retro, vintage. I don't even think that means anything anymore, because it's just so overused. But there will be item-specific words that you can use. Don't use vague words like look or huge or wow or cheap or things like that, because I don't think people type in cheap DVDs on eBay, so I don't think it would find it, so I don't know why the likes of Music Magpie and do things like that, which is a bit weird. So yeah, make sure you're using as many words as possible in your title. If it's if the item's got like a manufacturer's number and MPM, get that in the title as well, because that will help with the algorithm and search results. So yeah, that's a good one. So we talked about photos. Number of photos, I would say yes, you've got 12, but unless you're selling something that is very sort of unique and you need to show it from every angle, you need to show every minor imperfection on it, in that case you'd use all 12. But if you're just selling media, I'm sure 2 or 3 photos of something should be fine. Front, back, and like an open shot, or showing like the back of a disc, it's showing like there's no scratches. You may have to sort of hold it in the light a little bit for it to catch it, and then just to show if there's any sort of scratches on the disc, and that's kind of all you need. But again, that's peace of mind from the buyer, because they know that literal disc that they're buying from you may just have a few marks on it. It's not absolutely ruined, and it's it's going to be playable. So yeah, they haven't got that confidence when they're buying from a faceless, massive multimedia company like Music Magpie. I can slag it off Music Magpie here. It is amazing what they do, but they really throttled it and really made it difficult for smaller sellers. So yeah, and the other main one, how do we improve customer experience? Well, believe it or not, item specifics. So a lot of the time, eBay brings in these new rules, and eBay do this, believe it or not, to help us, to make things better for us as sellers, because they want us to sell our items. They want people to buy our items, and they want people to get as much money. You want sellers to get as much money for them as possible for their items, and the reason being is because eBay get 10% or actually a little bit more. I think some of the categories now have gone up to like 11, 12%. So you need to watch that. Have a look at your category fees, by the way, because they are creeping up. So but just besides that, so it's in eBay's interest to help you sell as much as possible. So that's why eBay's been banging on at you about item specifics. It's on your dashboard every time you log in. It'll say item specifics required, item specifics needed. Please sort this. You'll have it in bright red there down the side. So do that. Really do that, because what you're doing there is that you're helping your listing stand out over everyone else that isn't doing that. You're helping your customer find the exact item that they want. So they come across something, it's not quite, or the seller's not listed this accurately. I think, to be honest now, item specifics have more relevance than titles in eBay. I mean, if anyone wants to sort of, anyone's got any evidence the other way around, then great, I'm happy to hear it. But I personally think that, the reason that they're hammering on so much about these item specifics is that in the back end of eBay, of the search, that's how they're matching up the buyer's search tallies up with your item that you're trying to sell, and it matches and it's the right one. Because the buyer's typing in to find something and it's bringing up a list of things that aren't what they're looking for, they're not going to stay on the site very long, because they think, well, eBay's rubbish, it's not working for me. I'm typing in bicycle and it's bringing up double bed or something ridiculous. So yeah, so really, I know it's a ball ache, but go through those item specifics, and you know what I found, like, the best thing ever, and it's how I list most of my items, really, is I just sell similar. So and that way, then the previous seller's done all the hard work for you, and then I'm not saying don't check it, but whatever you're selling, I sell a lot of vinyl. Vinyl's actually my biggest seller, and item specifics on that category is an absolute nightmare, because there's so much you can do. Once you've, for example, with a record, once you've found your item for sale and it's sold, and it's sold at that price, so you choose what price yours is going to sell at, based on the research tab. The research tab is amazing. I'm going to spend the whole video going through that with you guys at a later date. But when you click sell similar from one that's sold that matches your item, you'll find that usually 2/3 to 3/4 of those item specifics are already filled in for you. And then so it may be worth you going through, because what you're doing then, by you filling in the rest of them, you're making it easier for the next guy. And I think that, by the way, we're creating like a stronger shopping experience for the customer, because it's only going to improve the accuracy and the kind of things they're looking for. Because like I say, with customers, there is no eBay, there's no sales. You guys can fixate on your inventory all you want and just numbers. But without, I think, providing that decent customer experience, we'd just be a machine where we're just churning. And I think you do need to consider, and I think it'll make you take a step back and look at how you actually create your listings and spend time curating that. How else can we do this? So we've done item specifics, so really make sure your item specifics are filled in. What I like to do as well is have a nice short description. My photos generally sell my item, it's not the description. And I think most people, when they go on eBay, photos are clear, title's clear, unless it's something niche, we need to describe something in the description to say that. Yeah, that makes sense. If you need to describe something in the description that says that this item is working great apart from XYZ, or it's got a minor imperfection on the back, I put that, but then I just put, well, please see photos, but I will always put it in the description as well. Generally, my descriptions are like 2-3 lines, and then that's it, because I let my photos do the most of the work, because I think that it's much easier just to let someone look at that, then read through it. And then the worst thing, I hate this, I see other sellers doing it, is that it tends to be like people who've been selling on eBay for a while. They've got this big custom description at the end of the listing, and it will say, please note that we do not do this and we will not accept this, and this is blah blah blah, and it's really negative. And so, like, someone buying your item, they're thinking, oh my god, if I buy this, then is this guy going to send me the right thing? Is he going to not give me a refund if I'm not happy with it? And we're going to come on to refunds later, because that's really important. But I think straight away, that's like going into a shop and taking something to the till, and the person on the till is really abrupt with you and like really challenging you about want to buy this, and then saying to you, oh, by the way, if you buy this, you can't bring it back, and blah blah blah. So you can't be like that. You know, eBay, Unfortunately, eBay's got the buyers back, and I actually think that's a good thing. But 30-day returns, which you should all be doing anyway. But even if you don't, I think eBay will enforce it. So customers have the right to return anything within 30 days. So regardless of what you put in your description, and we do not ship here, we do not ship this. All of this is controlled in your business policies. It shouldn't be on your description. And no buyer's reading that anyway. So don't think for a minute. You're just wasting time, wasting their time as well, because it's on there, it's clutter. All they want to do is look at your listing, see how accurate it is, see if there's any imperfections, any issues in it that they need to read about, and then buy it or not buy it. It's that. So yeah, we don't put things like that in your description, like we don't want this, we don't want that. With no buyers under 10 feedback and all this, no one reads that, no one cares. So yeah, don't do that. I think pricing is important, but I think generally, if you're doing your research properly, you'll find the right price for your items. I'm targeting these videos at people who are already selling on eBay, so I guess you guys kind of know what you're doing anyway with that. But everyone's got their own sort of margins, and I know what I like to sell things at, and I like to research and find a price for stuff. But I think that obviously if you price something wrong, it just won't sell, or it'll sell too quickly, and you underpriced it. But I think always be fair with what you're selling. Always be open to offers, within reason. Because again, that's giving a good customer experience, because I think customers like the engagement of sending an offer out, you receiving it. Make sure you respond to offers in a timely manner, because it's losing you sales if you don't, because if you don't reply, they'll just go on to someone else who's going to accept an offer. And B, because I think it's good that they get that engagement with you, and it makes them feel more that they are interacting with like a real person, a little small business, rather than just like a big faceless eBay page. So yeah, fair pricing, accepting offers. Next after that, after they pay, is ship it fast. You guys got no reason not to be shipping certainly every other day. I mean, what I do, and it really works for me, and it's something I've always been told, is, let me get this right now. So under promise and over deliver. So I would rather describe if something I'm selling is in like new condition, I'll describe it as very good. If something is in very good condition, I'll describe it as good, and so on and so on. That way then, yes, I may be shaving off a little bit of the price, but what I'm doing is setting the customer's expectations a little bit lower. So when they receive the item and it's actually in much better condition, they're amazed. They're like, oh, this is brilliant. Take a look at my feedback. Like, my feedback's like 99.9%. I've had like 2,000 feedback in the last 12 months, and 4 neutral and like 3 negative, which weren't even like real ones, because they were rubbish. I'm not just saying that, but they were. And the reason being is because I tend to not undervalue, but I under describe my items. So they receive it and like, well, this is actually excellent, and then they're aware of any imperfections. So always try and over deliver. And another way of over delivering is shipping every day. If you put on your eBay policies that you've got 2-day handling time, so they buy it on Monday and you've got till Wednesday to post it, great. So they're not expecting you to post it till Wednesday. They probably won't get it till Friday, sending it second class. But they buy it on Monday, you post it the next day. On Tuesday, they'll get it, Thursday or even Wednesday. They'll be absolutely over the moon with that. And and it shows people take notice of that. We don't consider things like that, because at the end of the day, we're just the guys in the background churning and listing. But everything we're doing, we're sending like hundreds of things out all around the country, all in different directions, and these things are landing. Make sure they land quickly. You've got no excuse not to send things the next day. Really, how difficult is it to wrap up a little toy, or to put a CD in an envelope, or obviously if you're selling big, bulky, fragile items, that's different, and I get you, and I do that as well. But always try and ship quicker than what you say, because that will always put the customer on your side. What have we got next to talk about? Okay, so another way of giving good customer service is personality. So it is a way of making yourself stand out over the big sellers, is just put a little bit of yourself, a little bit of soul, and what makes you unique into your listings, whether it's a sort of a little bit of quirkiness in the description, or something inviting in photographs. I don't mean adding stuff in there that shouldn't be in there, but I think perfect example is that your eBay shop banner. You can create a lovely banner that sort of reflects the kind of things that you sell. and it's a chance for you, like, your personality to shine through, and it's a chance of differentiating yourself from other eBay sellers. So someone coming on to one of your listings, and then they very well then click through onto your shop, which is different from them viewing your active listings. The end result is the same, and what they see, but the experience for the customer is different. And I think eBay is trying to actually enhance this at the moment, because it has been a little bit faffy, really. But if you can inject something a little bit unique and a little bit quirky and a little bit specific to your niche, or niche, niche, the same in America, into you can inject something unique regarding your niche, then I really think that that will help the customer feel that they're not just, taking part in a transaction, that they are actually buying from someone who is a small business, or they've got, they're self-employed, or they're just doing this on the bit side for, a little bit of cash. Then, I just think they go away with a bit more sort of happiness about them, I think. Yeah, might sound a little bit daft, but I really do think that. So have a bit of fun with that. I mean, eBay doesn't give you many opportunities to kind of put yourself across, because they do want everything to kind of fall into that format. But there are ways and means of, just whether it's like a little silly message in the packaging when you ship something, or something on the label, or there's things you can do. But yeah, that's something there. Next thing is refunds and returns. Okay, so this might be controversial, but I am a firm believer of, if someone starts a return, accept it. Accept the return. Factor that into your costs of running a business, that for every 50 or 100 transactions, one of them is going to come back. No matter what you do, no matter how amazing you are, one of those transactions is going to come back, because the customer might not like it. It might get damaged in the post. It might not be what they ordered. They might have damaged it. But eBay, that returns policy exists for a reason, and that is to give the customer a good experience. So if they sell something, you sell something to them, and for whatever reason they want to return it, just let them send it back. And if they try and do it not through eBay returns, don't. Always insist they do it through eBay returns. So if there's any issues, then not only is there a proper message history through eBay messages, but you're covered, and eBay can see that you've reacted to the return in a timely manner. You've provided a postage label if it's like an item not as described thing, so or it's been an issue down to you rather than an issue down to them, like they don't like it or it just doesn't fit them, then obviously they have to pay return postage. But just shows eBay again that you handle things well and professionally. And again, I think there's been quite a few occasions where, believe it or not, and like genuinely, customers have bought something from me and it's not been right, and I've handled the return well, or I've just, we've come up with a partial refund, and I've said, look, just keep it. And there's been times where I've just said, look, it's £3, just keep it, don't send it back to me. It's going to cost me more to send you a postage label for you to send me back this thing that's £3 and it's damaged anyway, so you keep it. And then what I always like to do as well, and it doesn't cost you anything, is if there's ever an issue with anything, offer that customer a discount off the next purchase. Because what you're doing then is like, you're showing them that they're worth something, because they are worth something, because you're nothing without your customers. So they have a negative experience, whether that's on them or that's on you. Go out of your way to sort it. Give them, you can do custom vouchers now on eBay, which is great. But I just not verbally, I'll just say in the text message, look, sorry it wasn't to you like him. Sorry this happened, X, Y, Z. Anything you like in my store, go and have a look, and I'll give you 20% off your next order. Because what's that's doing then is that they might not use it, but they'll come back and buy something else from you, and they'll think, oh, that's amazing. That he told me to keep it, and he's giving me 20% off. This is great. And what's 20%? You guys are all buying stuff, obviously low end and selling it high end, and you're buying for 2, selling for 10. What's £2 off that? It's a sale that you might not have had. So just do it. It's great. Just be professional and be customer facing, and look after these guys. And the other thing as well, and it kind of goes hand in hand, is that if a customer's got any issues in the messages and they're not happy with something, don't get into a slanging match with them. Don't get into a flame war with them. Just be calm, be professional, be polite, keep it simple. Tell them if they've got an issue with something, no problem at all. We're happy to accept a return. Just start returns through eBay. And you know what? You may even find 50% of the time they'll just decide to keep it because they can't be bothered starting a return, or they might have just been kind of trying it on and just waiting to see if you just sort of send a refund or without a return. Always insist on a return, always offer a refund straight off, always keep it professional, because at the end of the day, life's too short. If I got into like arguments with every single person on eBay that's bought something they weren't happy with, I'd be completely stressed all the time. I'd have even more grey hair in my beard than I currently have, which I'm not impressed about. So just, be professional, be polite. Customers should be your friends, and you should always be. And if they want to get into it, because you are always going to get the odd difficult customer, just be better than them. Just sort of stand back, don't take it personally, and just if they keep hassling you, just ignore them. Obviously do the refund, do the return, whatever it is you need, but don't get into like a long drawn out thing with them. So, and why are we doing this? So, to sum this up, I really do think that if across the board we can all encourage everyone to improve our listings and give great customer service, we can all help bring some sales back from these big sellers to us small people. It will encourage repeat custom, it'll encourage multiple orders, it'll improve your standards as a business as well, which is really important. You always need to be looking at yourselves, looking at what you do, saying, how can I make this better? And I think by offering better customer service makes you reevaluate all parts of your listing process, your pricing, your photographs, your handling, your packing, your messages, your return policy. So make it all about the customer, and I think it will just improve everything across the board for you, and I bet it will improve your sales as well. And then the other thing, this is an extra little thing, is that if you give a great experience to a customer, to a buyer, they might turn into a seller. They might sell you things. I have leaflets that I put in with my packages. Everything I sell has a leaflet. I do like local flyer drops and that, and all sorts of things. But and it's like, look, you bought this great thing from me. Really enjoyed giving it to you. If you've got anything like this at home, let me know. We're buying. And if you've given them a great deal, great service, fast shipping, they'll be like, oh, it's amazing this. And you know what? I've got loads of all these knocking about, actually. I'll give them a bell. And before you know it, you might have little mini streams of stock that you might not have had. So, and all comes about by giving that initial good customer service. So I think if we all start treating our eBay business as customer facing and not inventory facing, you will improve your listings. You'll sell more and you'll make more money. And we all win from that. And that'd be great. So I guess that's all I've got to say for tonight. So thank you all again so much for watching, and I will see you all through the window. Goodbye.